With the help of this YouTube channel, I escaped Russia when Russian dictator Putin invaded Ukraine. In order not to die there, YouTube was my only hope, and I successfully made it to US with the help of generous people that I met along the way. Today is Wednesday, December 4th. It's been 1,015 days since Russian dictator invaded Ukraine. And I want to tell you what happened in these 1,015 days. February 24th, 2022 will be a day for me that I will never forget. Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, escalating the conflict that began in 2014 with the annexation of Crimea and the war in Donbass. Key targets included Kyiv, Kharkiv, and southern regions. Despite initial gains, Russia faced significant resistance and logistical issues. By April, Ukrainian forces successfully pushed Russian troops out of northern areas, including Kyiv. In mid-2022, Russia decided to focus on eastern Ukraine, capturing key cities like Severodonetsk and Lysychansk in the Donbass region. Ukrainian forces launched counteroffensives, notably liberating Kharkiv Oblast and the city of Kherson by late 2022. In the winter of 2020-2023, fighting slowed during the winter, but intensified in cities like Bakhmut, where battles raged for months. Western allies ramped up military aid, including advanced weaponry such as HIMARS, tanks, and air defenses. In mid-2023, Ukraine launched a counter-offensive. Ukraine began a counter-offensive targeting Russian positions in the south and east. Progress was slower than expected due to heavy fortifications and minefields. Notable gains were made near Zaporozhye and in reclaiming small villages. And until now, the conflict is still going. People are still dying in this unnecessary war. Russian young boys brainwashed by Putin and his regime, really thinking that there is Nazis in Ukraine. Or hell, if you're gonna watch Russian propaganda now, they forgot about this. They stopped telling Russian people that there's Nazis in Ukraine. They're just now focused on United States and how we're going to defeat them through Ukraine. They keep feeding Ukraine. They're not even saying Nazis anymore. So Russian propaganda definitely shifted from saying that there's Nazis to just simply blaming United States for them being brainwashed. The conflict remains ongoing with no definitive resolution in sight. Both sides are preparing for prolonged fighting and negotiations appear distant. And this war not only affected Ukraine and Russia directly, but the entire world. The war has caused a humanitarian crisis, with millions displaced and significant civilian casualties. Economic effects include global energy and food supply disruptions. Diplomatic tensions have escalated, with NATO expanding and Russia facing growing isolation. And how many people died in these 1,015 days of this pointless war? So, according to Pentagon, over 600,000 Russian troops have died in Ukraine. With all due respect to US intelligence, and I genuinely do respect them and I have strong belief in their cause, I don't think that this number is precise. I don't think that there is 600,000 Russian troops that died in Ukraine. This number is just out of pocket. Although Pentagon says that 600,000 people's been either killed or seriously injured, but still the number is high. But I strongly advise you to go on Meduza and follow them. This is independent news organization that existed since Russian invasion. I do trust them, and I do trust their journalism. So according to Meduza and Mediazona, using inheritance records, demographic data, and verified obituaries suggest that by early 2024, over 50,000 confirmed Russian military deaths. And in this number, I can't believe. And now think about this. 50,000 young boys are dead. Boys that could have had a significant impact on Russia if it wasn't for Russian dictator Putin and all his pigs in the government. Just think about this. and same with Ukrainian boys. But they're doing a good cause. They're defending their land, and God bless them. I wish them nothing but win. And now, how much did United States alone gave to Ukraine? Since the start of full-scale invasion, United States has allocated approximately between $113 to $135 billion in aid to Ukraine. That includes military aid and economic and humanitarian aid. And now, really interesting thing. Before this invasion, US intelligence gave to the public, to the entire world, information that they think, based on information that they had, that Russia will invade Ukraine. That includes satellite imagery and troop movements. US intelligence observed a massive buildup of Russian troops, tanks, and military equipment near Ukraine's borders, including in Belarus and occupied Crimea. This movement suggested preparations for an invasion, not just some military exercises. It was clear to the US intelligence and basically to the entire world, although I assume back then people didn't really think that Putin will do this, but he's a crazy fucking idiot, so of course he did it. By late 2021, US officials began warning allies and the public that Russia might launch an invasion early in 2022. They detailed scenarios involving airstrikes, cyber attacks, and ground offensive aimed at seizing major Ukrainian cities, including Kyiv. US intelligence was unusually precise in predicting the timing of the invasion, even specifying that the attack would likely happen in late February 2022. Despite skepticism from some European allies and analysts, this prediction was correct. I do think that there was connections between US and Ukraine before the invasion, and I do think that even Ukrainian government didn't fully understand that Putin will do that. So what do we have, and what did I got from this war in Ukraine as a Russian citizen? Well, I'm no longer in Russia. All my dreams are crushed. I lost my job. Journalism in Russia is dead. People are escaping or either living in fear, and LGBT organization as a whole in Russia now considered as terrorist organization. A lot of pointless death, a lot of lives taken. Those lives that could have built Russian economy, have kids, have future in Russia, but now they're dead. Putin didn't gain anything from this war. Human lives, he doesn't care about that. Killing people for him is just, he used to it. Russia is isolated, even though Putin brainwashing Russian people that it would only make Russia stronger, which is false. Russian people simply gonna watch Russian propaganda. All those 15 channels or whatever that are fully under Putin's. And if you ask me, will I ever return to Russia? The answer is no. Even if they're gonna deport me, I'll find a way to stay here. The United States is my homeland. It was before the invasion. Of course, I didn't want to go to United States like this as a refugee, but it's not up to me. I grew up in free Russia, I'd say. I grew up in Americanized Russia. I grew up in Russia where I thought that democracy would be possible, but I was a fool. So this is what happened in this pointless war in Ukraine. It's been going on for 1,015 days so far. It's pointless, and the only one who blame is Russian dictator Putin. You all have a good day. God bless America.